The Atlas Post. Well, the new school year is quickly approaching, whether you're a regular student or a college student. So many of you have many questions going through your head, such as, is my college going online? And if so, how much of the school is online? Do I have to show up for school? How often do I have to show up for school? Do I have what am I doing on housing? Do I have to stay there? Can I just be online? All those questions that are going through your head. But you are making decisions based on limited information. And if you happen to be sharing spaces such as, well, how many people are in my dorm? How many people am I sharing a room with? Is there a communal bathroom? How many people are sharing that, etc.? So, first of all, figure out what's your situation. What do you have to work with? But if you are watching this, please share this with a friend or somebody else that may help, because if you're watching it, you probably have an interest in this subject. And we will be doing several more videos regarding student housing, so please send us the like button and subscribe, because we have many more things coming up that I'm sure you will want to be listening to or watching. So first of all, if you have on-campus housing, that's where you live on campus, there's quite a few uncertainties, such as deserted common areas and assigned bathroom stalls. You can probably still back out. But check your student's housing contract, because all of them differ. For example, you might be able to receive a refund, as students did in San Diego at UCSD, San Diego State, Point Loma. UC Irvine has a cancellation policy by September 1st. USC passed a cancellation deadline of July 15th, but please do go ahead and take a look at that. Oh, also, they all handle things differently, whether it's at University of California, California State University, as well as other states throughout the United States. But most importantly, check their policy and check whether the refund that they're talking about on the deadline is for a full refund or a partial refund. So, for example, like USC passed a cancellation deadline of July 15th, perhaps that was the full deadline and they're maybe doing a partial deadline. So most importantly, read your paperwork. If you are living off campus, it's a different situation, because it looks pretty much like, well, let's just say, it looks like a traditional approach of anyone that's really just trying to get out of their lease. So there are some organizations such as American Campus Communities, which is a large national student housing owner and operator, that may have some different things regarding landlord-tenant law, and they're used to working with students. So there are several things that you need to take into consideration when you are taking a look at breaking or renegotiating your lease. Number one is check your lease for an attorney fee provision. They're common residential leases. They may or may not be in the student rental area, but check it anyway, because there may be a fee. That means that the tenant is on the hook for the other side's attorney fees if the matter goes to court and the tenant is ordered by a judge to pay up. So read your paperwork. And yes, you can always get an attorney to fight on your side too. It all has to do with how much attorney is going to cost and how much it's going to cost you for rent. Also, check to see if your lease includes a force majeure clause, also known as an acts of God clause. And the global pandemic usually should fit into an acts of God, but make certain you check, because it's an uncommon provision in residential leases, but you never know, it just might be there. Number 3, determine if an amendment or change to the lease must be signed by all parties. Most do require it. So if you have other roommates that you're sharing, make certain that they all have to sign it. And there's another thing is, see whose name is on the rental agreement. Because if it's just yours and you have roommates, you are still responsible for it. Basically, whoever's name is on the rental agreement is responsible for it. Number 4, only communicate in writing. This is really important, because you can sit there and talk to them all day, but if you happen to go to court or anything else, they're going to go back to the written information. And writing does not include texting. Writing includes sending a letter. You may want to get it certified. Okay, so only communicate in writing. Texting is not included, although you can save your text messages anyway. Number 5, because we do have more than just this, is negotiate with them. Because you may decide to stay there, or you may decide to leave. But they may negotiate with you on lowering the price, or maybe they can try and rent it to somebody else and you can help them. But just talk to them, because they are humans, and there's actually 2 sides to the story. Because remember, they're renting it to you, but they also have to pay their bills. So they need people to occupy or pay it, and they have all these written agreements to protect both parties, whether rent goes up or rent goes down. Because the other thing is this happens to be for this semester, but come the next semester after this, if you do not have a good relationship with them, you may not be able to find, or you may not be able to get back into that place, and you may have to find an entirely different one. Next, you can use your entire security deposit towards last month's rent and give notice to vacate. So that's like the standard 30-day notice to vacate. It gives them a little bit more time. They can go ahead and find somebody else. So tenants can't be charged for unpaid rent if the unit could have been re-rented and the money reasonably recouped. So that part may help you. The challenging part is if you're in an area where it's mainly student housing, it may be difficult to find other people to fill that because it's mainly all students that go there. Next, don't expect any automatic refund. This you're trying to negotiate with them, and you can go ahead and agree on it. Maybe they can give you some type of time frame or guidelines as to when you could be receiving a refund if you are getting one. And of course, like I said, you can always get an attorney. Here's another part where you may have a little bit of wiggle room, and that is if you sign a lease and you didn't move in, you may have some wiggle room. So read your paperwork, negotiate with them, because you might be lucky. You never know. So we have much more coming to you. Please pay attention to the next videos we have coming up regarding student housing. There are many, many more, because the universities are trying to help the students. And besides just this area, you also have 211 and 311. And you're sitting there going, what in the world is that? Well, if you are a student, just like anybody else, and you need help with your rent, they are available. And there are sources available in your community, but 211 and 311 are available throughout, I believe, the United States. They do have information on housing and how you can help. For example, in Los Angeles, tomorrow starts the new application program for 211 to help. So, anyway, thanks for joining us. It's the Atlas Post. Enjoy the rest of your gorgeous Sunday this weekend. Share this with a friend or somebody it can help. And, of course, if you find this helpful, or even if you don't, but just please do. Please like the video, make comments, check out our playlist, and subscribe for the latest updates. Thanks for supporting our channel on Patreon, as well as Buy Me a Coffee. Tap into your news with the Atlas Post, and have a joyful day.